The value of art is determined by the condition of the canvas, influence of the artist, subject matter, rarity of the piece, and primary versus secondary market. In today's video, we look at the most expensive masterpieces in 2024 worth more than $200 million and how much they were previously sold for. Find out why the Mona Lisa was excluded even though the current worth is $970 million. Welcome to the Academy Attic, your favorite visual library. At number 12. Number 5, 1984 by Jackson Pollock. This painting was one of the pioneers of drip paintings by Pollock on fiberboards. It was sold by David Geffen to a private collector on November 2, 2006 for $140 million. Due to inflation, the painting is now worth $203.2 million. The current whereabouts are unknown, and the private collector has never been disclosed. Number 11. The Red Nude by Amedeo Modigliani. Painted in between 1917 and 1918 with oil on canvas, this masterpiece was one of famous nudes in a series that Modigliani created under the patronage of his Polish dealer Leopold Zborowski. It was sold for $170.4 million on November 9, 2015 by Laura Metoili to AQ Chinese businessman Liu Yiqian. It is currently still in his private collection, unavailable for public viewing. At number 10. The Standard Bearer by Rembrandt. It is one of Rembrandt's self-portraits done in 1636. The painting was so expensive that when the Louvre tried to buy it in 2019, they couldn't raise enough funds and had to forfeit the rights of purchase. However, in 2021, the Dutch state announced its intention to purchase the painting and collaborated with the Rembrandt Association and the Rijksmuseum to acquire it from the Rothschild family, who owned it since 1844. It was bought for $198 million and is currently worth $213.8 million. The self-portrait is on exhibition at the Rijksmuseum for public viewing. At number 9. The Women in Algiers, Versionneau by Pablo Picasso. It was painted between 1954 and 1955 as the last part of a series inspired by Eugene Delacroix' 1834 painting the women of Algiers in their apartment. Some of the other versions in the series are Version C that was sold in 1988 following Victor Gann's death, Version J that was sold in London in 2006 for $18.6 million, Version K that was sold for $6.6 million in November 1997, and Version N that was bought by the Steinberg Fund for the Washington University in 1960 for an undisclosed amount. Versionneau was sold for $179.4 million. Currently worth $221.4 million on May 11, 2015 by a Saudi Arabia private collector living in London to former Qatar Prime Minister Hamad bin Jassim through an auction. Number 8. Pendant portraits of Maerten and Oopjen Capet by Rembrandt. The paintings were done in 1634 for a well-off newlywed couple by oil on canvas. The paintings are treated as one entity and sold as such. The Rijksmuseum and the Louvre contributed half of the price and share custody, each putting them on exhibition for 5 years with the agreement not to lend out the paintings to other institutions during the custodial period. Eric de Rothschild sold the paintings for $180 million on 1 February 2016, accruing a current net worth of $222 million in 2024. Currently at the Louvre for public viewing. At number 7. Violet, Green and Red Number 6 by Mark Rothko. It is an abstract painting created in 1951. The sales history of the painting is interesting because the auctioneer bought the painting first for $80 million, then resold it discreetly disguised as the original owner, stirring up a controversy. The auctioneer was Charisse Muweix, who bought it from Paker H.B. then sold it to Dmitry Rybolovlev for $186 million. The painting is now worth $230 million, sitting in a private collection away from the public eye. Number 6. Water Serpents II by Gustav Klimt. The painting was created between 1904 and 1907, commissioned and owned by Jenny Steiner before being looted by the Nazis in the war and given to Gustav Ussicki. It depicts 4 water nymphs in lustful bliss. Klimt wanted to paint a same-sex orgy, but since these relationships were not acceptable at the time, he disguised women as mythical creatures. The masterpiece was sold for $183.8 million by Yves Bouvier to Dmitry Rybolovlev at a private sale. It is currently worth $230.9 million and is on display at Belvedere Museum in Vienna, Austria on loan. At number 5. Number 17A by Jackson Pollock. It was created in 1948 as an abstract drip painting. A year after Pollock began debuting drip paintings which were unpopular at the time until Life magazine ran a feature story in August 1949 increasing the value of the artwork in the market. The painting was sold for $200 million in September 2015 by David Geffen to Kenneth Griffin in a private sale and immediately given to the Institute of Chicago on loan where it remains. After inflation, the masterpiece is now worth $247 million. At number 4. When Will You Marry by Paul Gauguin. This painting is of a 13-year-old girl in traditional dressing with a white tiara flower behind her left ear indicating she was looking for a husband. Gauguin was fascinated by the culture and language so much so he inscribed the painting in Tahitian before returning to France and selling it. The piece was sold in September 2014 by Rudolf Stechlin to the state of Qatar in a private sale for $210 million. Currently worth $259 million, the painting sits in a private collection. At number 3. The Card Players by Paul Cézanne. The painting is part of a series created between 1892 and 1893 by the French post-impressionist. This painting has 2 card players, and there are 2 more versions of the painting which are in a private collection in the Cortland Institute of Art in London. Another painting has 4 people and is in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, and the last painting is of 5 people in a room, now displayed by the Owner Barnes Foundation Museum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The painting in this ranking was sold for $250 million by George Mbirikos to the state of Qatar in a private sale. Currently, it is worth $325 million and sits in a private collection. At number 2. The Interchange by Willem de Kooning. He created this abstract painting of central New York in 1955 after graduated from abstract painting of women. Willem sold it for $4,000, but in 2015 it was sold by David Geffen to Kenneth Griffin for $300 million. Factoring in the current high cost of living, the painting is worth $370 million. It is in a private collection unavailable for viewing. And now, the most expensive painting in the world as of 2024, the Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci. The painting was unveiled in 2017 after meticulous restoration, depicting Jesus Christ in a blue dress making the sign of the cross while holding the world in his other hand. The masterpiece was sold for $450.3 million in 2017 to Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia. There have been experts who have disputed that Leonardo painted the piece, but it was proven to be from the 1490 to 1500 year period, which coincides with Leonardo's other paintings. Due to the attention, the masterpiece is currently worth over $570 million and is now in a private collection. And now, our top honorary mention, the Mona Lisa, currently worth over $970 million. It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci from 1503 to 1517, depicting the Italian noblewoman, Lisa del Giocondo. It is on exhibit at the Louvre, where it has been since 1797 and was declared a French national treasure in 2014. France, through the Louvre, declared that the painting will never be put up for sale or auction, even if it was to save the country from debt.
Thanks for watching. Check out the next videos.